Good morning, everybody. Scott with Pratt& Associates Realty back at it again. I have a trend that I'm noticing in America and especially in real estate that I think needs to change. And it's an attitude change. I'm not saying you had a bad attitude. I'm not saying that. It's just something that I think needs to change. And especially now, especially if you're getting into real estate now, it's something that you need to focus on. I've seen this meme floating around, and I'm introducing you to this concept. I've seen this meme floating around, and it's, gee, I wish in 2008 when I was in high school that I was purchasing real estate and, focusing on becoming a millionaire at some point in time in the future. And yeah, the problem is that you were trained to focus on your studies. I was in college at that time and I only focused on getting my degree. I did not think about the fact that how impactful real estate would be for the rest of my life. And I did get my license in 2010 between my undergrad and my master's, but I mainly focused on being a good student at that time, when actually I could have been really like as I was doing my studies, which I'm sorry did not require as much emotional work, physical work, or mental work. It required some, but compared to being an adult and running a real estate company, it was very minimal. And I wish I had focused more on things like that at that time rather than just, well, I did my study, so I guess I'm done today. And then I have the whole rest of the day to just goof off. And I'm telling you, if you only focus on those sort of things, like just being a good student, just being a good worker, and just staying right there and doing as you're told and staying in your lane, and then you afford yourself so much time to goof off afterwards because you feel like you need it. I'm telling you, you're not going to move the needle. You're not going to move it forward. And I'm sorry. I know that sucks. I know it's a really mean thing to say, but it's just the truth. And I feel like a lot of us spend a lot of time playing video games as a method of downtime. We spend a lot of time just in activities that are purely goofing off, TikToks. And I know you're like, Scott, I'm watching you on YouTube right now, but I'm wanting to help you learn something. And I know this about real estate, and I see it on real estate pages all the time. I see these agents posting things like, my broker doesn't do this, my broker doesn't have that. I'm looking for all these new shiny gimmicks at this other brokerage. What do you guys think? But they have these crappy commission splits, or they try to hook you in with the whole 100% commission thing. But then when you break it all down, I would like to research these 100% commission brokerages. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Some of them are actually real, true blue, 100%. You do have to pay a monthly fee, or you have to pay for your FMLS. If you sell something in FMLS, you have to pay that fee outside. It's taken off your commissions and whatnot. But I'd like to investigate some of those. I know some of them promise a really high fee split, but then they charge you for a ton of other things. I'm telling you something. All this, what lead generation services my broker provide, all this stuff is pedantic. If you want to be successful, it doesn't rest on your brokerage. It doesn't rest on your broker. It rests on you. Yes, your broker, me, someone like myself, should focus on, hey, I'd love to sit down with you. I'd love to talk to you. This is what's worked for other agents in the past. And I'm trying to help you not spend so much freaking money starting up rather than a brokerage or having to do a lot of this on your own and learning really painful, hard lessons on your own that cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. Because I've seen agents sign up for lead generation services that almost bankrupted them. It didn't make them any money. It didn't move the needle for them. And then these lead generation companies will tell you, well, you got to do it for a longer period of time. And are you really networking as well as you should? And then they chastise you. Shut up. Like, God, that made me so mad. I've actually signed up for one of these because some agents in my brokerage begged me to. They never helped contribute any money to the leads that they would receive, and they never closed anything as a result of it. The sales training for this, or the software training for this company was incredibly hard. The sales lady was a pompous jerk, a typical contracted salesperson who had not a clue about real estate, and it was very obvious. It was embarrassing to have my agents listen to this training call. It was embarrassing. It was a hard lesson. I dismissed my agents. I got really angry with these people. I wanted my money back, and they never gave it back to me. And actually, they tried to extort more money out of me. So I did everything I could do legally, and luckily that whole thing is closed down. And will I, as a broker, ever buy or purchase any kind of lead generation services ever again? No. I already have lead generation, if you will, from my IDX website. I can go, when I put listings in there, I can go on there and see who's viewed said listings, and I can contact them from there. And that's really all that lead generation is, if you're doing it that way. But the agents who really wanted to do well, they understood, number one, they researched things on their own. And that's the crux of this whole video. You need to do research on your own. If you want to be successful at something, I don't care what it is, if you want to be successful at it, if you really want it, you will do the research on your own. You will do the work on your own. You will find YouTube videos, you'll read books, you will do what it takes to do well in your field. And the agents that I know of that did really well in my company did that. They researched things on their own. They already had that kind of business mindset to begin with anyway. Maybe they had a business beforehand, or they were in some sort of big corporate setting where they understood what activities make money, what activities are good overhead, what activities are bad overhead. Good overhead is calling people, investing in something like maybe Red X, like Ricky Carruth always talks about, and cold calling people. Yes, it sucks, but it's work. And yes, you're going to have people hang up and yell at you, but at the end of the day, you will have that one person out of maybe 50 to 100 that will want to work with you. So it's worth the work. And the time commitment and all the money that you spent on it was well worth it. Paying $6,000, $8,000, $2,000 per month on a lead generation service that might guarantee you one lead, and then, oh, well, the commission you earn is worth it. Not really, because that $2,000 you spent per month for that lead and you close one deal, that's going to have to go to your taxes. I'm just giving you the reality of the situation. So if your broker sits down with you and tells you, this is what's worked for agents in the past, this is what's going to work for them in the future, this is the market information that I know about, and this is what I want you to do to adjust, and here's the business plan for the year, and they follow up with you and they talk to you and they want you to succeed, that's a good broker. The one that has all the tech layout for you, they have all the websites, the lead generation services, the paid people in the office who are trained, and they have all, and you see a lot of like recruiting people standing around not selling real estate, you're in trouble. You're in a trouble situation. Regardless, even if you're in that situation, you don't want to leave because probably it does offer you some things that are beneficial to you, then I would say to you, at the end of the day, it all falls on you. Are you cold calling? Are you sending out weekly emails? Are you going out there and meeting people? Are you giving out business cards? What are you doing to succeed? Are you asking for other people's business cards or for their information? You can handle as many business cards you want. They can go home and just throw it in the trash. But are you out there asking for other people's business cards and whatnot? And that's the really big thing. So at the end of the day, your success is predicated on you. I hate to tell you that. I know it's so cliche. Okay, if my success is dependent upon me, then what do I need to do to be successful? Well, first off, look outside the box. Research what makes money, what does not. And YouTube is so filled up with experienced agents and experienced professionals. And again, my favorite, Ricky Carruth. I am watching him a lot and I'm learning a lot. And he does have a very tough message, which is you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to do these things. You're going to have to be creative. And you're allowed. You are allowed to do this research. You're allowed to be creative. It's okay. When you're in school and they were like, focus on this, focus on this, focus on this, you are always allowed to research and look at things outside the box that you felt were going to be part of your success in the future. Okay? And I'm telling you that now. So it's your life. Even if you're young right now, maybe you are actually in school, you are allowed to go out there and do research on your own. You're deviating away from some of these studies, these pedantic stuff that they're teaching in school these days. As long as you're keeping your grades up, as long as you're at your job right now and you're keeping your metrics up for your boss or whatever, and you're doing a good job there, but you're wanting to kind of break out of the mold, you're allowed to do that. Go do it. I hope this was helpful. There's so much more I need to flesh out and say, but I have to get on my cold calls this morning. I have to get on so much work myself. I have a very stacked and busy schedule. And yeah, the market's really down right now. So what that requires is more work. And when I say work, it's not something bad. Working this way is not bad. Networking, meeting people, these are not bad things. They are good things. I am in the business of establishing relationships. And I've always known that having good relationships is a good thing. So that's what we're going to focus on this year in 2024. And that's what I want you to focus on as well. And I want you to focus on researching outside the box, not taking just face value information for as the biblical truth. I want you to research, go out, look outside the box. What else could I be doing right now? You know, they had me do this. I did my task. Do I just want to goof off, or do I want to do something else? Do I want to do something productive? Do I want to do something that moves the needle for me? I guarantee you do. So good luck. And I'm always here to answer questions. Maybe I should put a link below. I'm kind of wary of putting my own personal number out there. I may actually turn my old business phone back on and get that going. But yeah. Well, thanks guys. Hope you have an awesome day. And I'll at least give you my email. How's that? I'll give you my email. And maybe I can help resolve some questions there. Thank you and have a good day. Talk to you later.